The list here, 45p tax cut, gone. Corporation tax cut, gone. 20p tax cut, gone. 2-year energy freeze, gone. Tax-free shopping, gone. Economic credibility, gone. And her supposed best friend, the former Chancellor, he's gone as well. They're all gone. So why is she still here?
Mr. Speaker, I am a fighter and not a quitter.
Mr. Speaker, I am a fighter, not a quitter. Well, baby, you quit. Okay, and after that brother got done enumerating on her behind Jayar, he was like, gone. So gone. So gone. Why is she still here? You know what? They dropping the mics over there across the pond too, just like we doing it over here. So why is she stepping down? I'm so glad you asked, because she tried to give tax cuts to the super rich. Yeah, like the neoliberals over here do. But in this case, it blew up in her face. So watch this.
By the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
Now, remember, she replaced Boris Johnson as prime minister, and now she is out of here. Let's put up this headline here, shall we? From the New York Times. UK government goes full tilt on tax cuts and free market economics. You know, that kind of laissez-faire stuff. The new administration's plans are a break from the Boris Johnson era and represent a turn towards Thatcherism. The negative reaction from financial markets underscored the extent of the gamble. She gambled, and baby, she gambled wrong. Jay, I'm thinking about Kenny Rogers now. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to run, okay? She gambled, and baby, she gambled wrong. Let's look at the Truss plan, shall we? Reagan-style tax cuts for the rich, deregulation, free market economics. That's it, that kind of laissez-faire economics that just says, just let it be. The market will take care of everything. Just let it be. They have no rules, no regulations. Don't look out for the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class. Just let corporations do whatever they do, and everything is gonna be all right. Well, she got a clue real quick that everything was not going to be all right, and she out of here. Jay?
The first question I have is, how do we get this style of, I guess, ushering someone out here? Because again, we see some of the similarities. We talk about their tax cuts, deregulation, free market principles, whatever the hell that means, and whatever the hell that they decide to back that meaning. What it ends up being is more money in the pockets of the people who gave them the money to make those rules and to come up with those types of tax cuts for those particular people. So if you get ushered out and there's all this pressure comes towards you, even her own party, as they just figured out, she's not the leader that we need. She's unable to carry out some of these campaign promises, or at least whatever way she put it, some of the promises or agenda of the party, and therefore she has to leave. Wow, that was easy. How does that work? Can we pull that off over here?
I know. I mean, it was swift. I mean, sister was only in there 45 days, depending on where you are in the world, or 44 days. I mean, that was quick. And you're right. How can we get some of that action?
What's wrong
over
with
here in the United States of America? And even, the markets crashed before her plan could even fully take root. And even President Biden criticized her. Let's put this up. Joe Biden calls Lizz Truss tax cuts a mistake as political fallout continues. US president rejects cutting taxes on the super wealthy and says he is not the only world leader critical of the abandoned plan. Oh yeah, so I want us to do some of that over here. Let's criticize some of them tax cuts over here, but the president definitely got it right on that one. Jay, I want to see some of that action though happen over here.
Yeah, it is the thing. Also, the fact that her party was basically rose up against her because of the political pressure, how bad it looked and all that, was partially because these, let's keep it real, it was some of these bigger money makers, people who they actually care about, had an issue with how this was looking so bad. There was uncertainty within the markets, because then after this happened, then the markets crashed, and they're dealing with both inflation and a slow growth economy, and all this stuff is happening to them. By the way, in case everyone over here is thinking about it, inflation and slow growth economy and issues with the economy itself based off of these types of rules. Seems like it's not just the fault of one particular party in the United States. We have this egocentric view of our country as being the one thing that drives everything in the world. If someone else is dealing with this as well, it just might be a problem that happens for other reasons than it being the Democratic Party of the United States of America. But either way it goes, she got ousted partially because those folks that are in the money-making positions are like, we can't have this instability within our leadership. That's gonna hurt us and our money. You notice they care about us and our money and getting rid of someone that fast, but all the people that were negatively affected by this deregulation, slow growth economy, inflation, all that's happening to them, were they listened to? Was it mentioned anywhere in these articles about how the regular working class people are so upset about what's going on, and that's why we had to oust this leader? No. It's the people with the money.
And Jay, you make a very important point. It makes me think of something that Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm once said. She said, when it comes to morality and money seldom loses. And baby, that's a word for the ages. You hear me? That is a word for all times. It is so true, unfortunately. Now, so in response to the criticism, Truss about face, let's put up our chart here. She abandoned the tax cuts. She fired top financial officials because it couldn't have been her. She put a price cap on energy, and then she resigned. That's exactly what she did. So the new UK finance minister reversed almost all of the controversial, now abandoned economic plan. Good for you. And so it was looking bad for a while. Let's put this up. By the time of her resignation, she had the lowest public approval rating of any prime minister since the early 1990s and was becoming deeply unpopular even among conservatives. A YouGov poll this week said 55% of conservative voters, Jay, to your point, wanted her out. I mean, her own, isn't that something though? See, because in this country, you get, people don't like you to criticize. If you criticize your own party, you get roughed up. They don't want you to do that. You're not a real Democrat or you're not a real Republican, especially happens on the Democratic side. You're not real. What's not real about standing up? What's not real about standing up for the people? So her own party definitely got her out of there. Yes, they did. Oh my God, it's so absolutely refreshing, Jay. She gone.
To finally see something like this happening. Again, there has to be based in some kind of truth. So at the end of the day, we have to see that there's something wrong. And after they all acknowledge and agree something is wrong, then someone has to be the one, or some approach has to be the reasons why we've gotten here. Now, I worry in this particular case, she's been ousted, she's resigned and all that stuff. But it's not like there's gonna be some kind of significant, serious change in policy, or everyone that agreed with her just didn't like the way that she did it. But it doesn't mean they're like, man, that whole approach that we had was totally misguided. I don't know why we didn't think this through. Let's change course. Let's keep it real. That's not gonna happen either.
And the conservatives, I mean, the kicker to this is that the conservatives over here in this country was actually amening and high-fiving and fist bumping what she did, her plan. I wonder how they feeling about it now.
Exactly.
So what's ahead for her successor? Ms. Truss' successor will have to navigate, navigate. Let's put up that graphic, a political crisis and the economic turbulence with Britain dealing with stagflation, the combination of slow growth and high inflation. The new leader is almost sure to face a long winter of discontent with real wages forecast to fall, labor unions promising a series of strikes, and many voters demanding elections. That's it. That's the kind of stuff we want to see. Make the damn demand on these elected leaders. Shake them up. Do not let them get away with this stuff.